My chosen one, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. This is not just another message that appeared by chance. No, this is a divine interruption, a sacred alert sent directly into your path at this exact second. There is a reason your eyes are here, a reason your spirit feels this sudden pull. Because the truth is, you are standing at the edge of a moment that will never come again in the same way. Only 1 hour remains, and heaven is moving faster than you realize. Can you feel it? That quiet tension in your chest, that sense that something is shifting behind the scenes. That is not your imagination. That is the echo of a decision that has already been made in the heavenly realms. Archangel Michael himself steps forward in this hour, not in silence, but with authority, with power, with a message that cannot be delayed any longer. He is not here by accident. He is here because something concerning your life has just been approved by God. Yes, approved. While you were waiting, while you were questioning, while you were wondering if anything would ever change, heaven was reviewing your case. Every tear you shed, every moment you held on when it felt impossible, every silent prayer you thought went unheard, it was all being recorded. And now, the verdict has been released. What God has approved for you will not be reversed. It will not be delayed any further. It is final. But here is what makes this moment so urgent. The window of alignment is now open, and it will not stay open forever. This is why you were drawn here. This is why you cannot ignore this message. Because in this final hour, something must shift within you as well. Heaven has already said yes, but your awareness, your readiness, your belief, these are the keys that will allow you to step into what has already been granted. Archangel Michael is standing as your protector in this transition. He has been fighting battles you never saw, clearing paths you didn't even know were blocked. And now, he is sounding the call. Prepare yourself. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, because what is coming is not small. It is not ordinary. It is the kind of change that redefines everything, your path, your peace, your purpose. The kind of shift that makes you look back and realize nothing will ever be the same again. And the most astonishing part, you didn't arrive here by luck. You were guided here because your spirit was ready to hear it. Out of countless voices, countless distractions, you were chosen to receive this confirmation in this exact moment. So don't scroll away. Don't dismiss this feeling rising within you. This is your signal. This is your moment of awakening. The countdown has already begun, and what happens next will reveal why this message found you today. Listen closely, because what is unfolding around you is far deeper than what your eyes can see. There is a realm beyond this physical world where decisions are not made lightly, where every detail of your life is weighed with divine precision. In that sacred realm, the heavenly court has already convened, and your name was called, not as a whisper, not as an afterthought, but with intention, with purpose, and with authority that cannot be challenged. When God approves something for your life, it is not like human approval that can be withdrawn or delayed. It is absolute. It is final. It carries a force that moves through time, through obstacles, through resistance, until it manifests exactly as it was spoken. And right now, something with your name on it has received that approval. This is why the atmosphere around you feels different. This is why you may have sensed a shift without understanding it. The decision has already been made. Archangel Michael stands at the center of this moment, not just as a messenger, but as a guardian of what has been authorized for you. His presence is not symbolic, it is active. He has been assigned to ensure that what God has approved reaches you without interference. Every unseen force that tried to delay you, every barrier that rose up against your progress, has been confronted and dealt with. You may not have seen the battle, but it was real. And more importantly, it has already been won. There were moments when you felt stuck, when nothing seemed to move no matter how much effort you gave. You questioned if you were being overlooked, if your prayers were somehow lost in silence. But what you didn't realize is that delays are not always denials. Sometimes, they are divine timing at work, holding things back until the exact moment when everything aligns perfectly. That moment is now. The approval from God is not random. It comes after a process, a refining, a preparation that shapes you into the person who can carry what is being released. You were being strengthened in ways you didn't understand. Your patience was being tested, your faith was being stretched, your spirit was being trained to stand firm even when there was no visible proof. All of it was leading to this point. Now the alignment between heaven and earth is beginning to take place. What was decided above is starting to echo below. This is why the urgency is so strong. The next hour is not just about time passing. It is about a window of manifestation opening. A moment where what has already been approved begins to move toward you with unstoppable force. But understand this clearly. Alignment requires awareness. If you remain in doubt, if you stay trapped in fear, you risk missing the fullness of what is being delivered. Not because it was taken away, but because you were not ready to receive it. This is why this message is reaching you now, to awaken you, to prepare you, to bring you into agreement with what heaven has already declared. Archangel Michael is not only protecting the blessing, he is guiding you into position. He is urging you to lift your vision, to stop focusing on what has not worked in the past, and to recognize what is now being set into motion. The past no longer has authority over you. The delays no longer define you. What defines you now is the approval that has already been given. Feel the shift. Recognize the weight of this moment. This is not a rehearsal. This is the real turning point. And as the next moments unfold, you will begin to understand just how much had happened behind the scenes to bring you here. Because what is about to be revealed next will show you the battle that was fought for you, a battle you never saw, but one that changed everything in your favor. There is something you must understand now, something that will change the way you look at everything you have been through. What felt like delay, what felt like confusion, what felt like doors closing again and again was never meaningless. It was the evidence of a battle, a real battle, not in the physical world where you could see it, but in the spiritual realm where forces were contending over your destiny. While you were trying to make sense of your situation, Archangel Michael was already engaged in that battle. Not passively, not from a distance, but actively, strategically, and with divine authority. Every time you felt like giving up, every time you questioned whether you were on the right path, there were unseen forces attempting to wear you down, to make you lose faith before your appointed time arrived. That weight you carried was not imagined. It was resistance. But here is the truth that changes everything. Resistance only appears when something valuable is at stake. No one fights over what has no worth. The intensity of what you experienced was directly connected to the magnitude of what was being prepared for you. And that is why Archangel Michael had to step in with such force. Because what God approved for you could not be allowed to be stolen, delayed indefinitely, or destroyed. Think back to those moments when everything seemed to fall apart without explanation. Plans that didn't work. Opportunities that slipped away. People who walked out of your life when you needed them most. It felt personal. It felt confusing. But what if those moments were actually protection? What if what didn't happen was just as important as what is about to happen now? Because sometimes what looks like loss is actually redirection. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually divine shielding. There were paths you were not meant to continue on, doors you were not meant to walk through, connections you were not meant to keep. And even though it hurt, even though it left you with questions, it was all part of clearing the way for what has now been approved. Archangel Michael was not just fighting against what was coming against you. He was also removing what could not go with you. That is why the process felt so intense. You were being separated from things that no longer aligned with your future. And separation is never easy. It shakes you. It forces you to confront uncertainty. But it is also necessary for elevation. Now, the battle has reached its turning point. The resistance that once surrounded you is breaking. The heaviness that once followed you is lifting. You may not fully see it yet, but something has shifted. The victory has already been declared in your favor. Not partially, not temporarily, completely. And this is why this moment feels so different. Because you are no longer fighting for approval. You are stepping into it. You are no longer waiting for permission. You have already received it. The struggle that once defined your days is losing its grip, and in its place, a new momentum is beginning to rise. But there is one more thing you must hold on to. Do not interpret the past through pain anymore. Interpret it through purpose. Every delay had a reason. Every obstacle had a function. Every moment of confusion was leading you to this exact point where everything begins to make sense. Archangel Michael is still with you, but now his role is shifting. From warrior to guide, from defender to escort. He is leading you forward into what has already been secured for you, ensuring that nothing tries to pull you back into what you have already outgrown. This is your turning point. This is where everything begins to change. Type "I receive my victory" in the comments if this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 519 has just been released over your life, sealing the breakthrough that has already been approved for you. And as this victory settles into your reality, understand this: when you respond to a message like this, you are not just hearing it, you are participating in it. There are souls who are still searching, still waiting for clarity, still standing in the middle of their own unseen battles. When you choose to support this mission, you become a vessel that carries light into their darkness. I feel called to sow into this message so that others can receive their breakthrough too. Let that rise within you, because this is not just giving, it is planting seeds into a divine harvest. The word says, "Give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being activated right now. Every seed you release becomes a channel through which God's voice reaches someone who desperately needs it. Every offering becomes light, breaking through someone else's night. The PayPal link is waiting for your step of faith in the description, and the QR code has been placed before you as a doorway to act in this very moment. Do not delay what your spirit is urging you to do. As you give, may your own harvest be unlocked. As you sow, may your path be cleared. Step into this divine exchange now. There is a moment in every divine timeline when everything that once felt sealed suddenly begins to open. Not slowly, not with hesitation, but with a force that makes it undeniable. You are standing at that exact moment now. The door that has remained closed, the one you may have knocked on in prayer, the one you may have even given up on, is no longer locked. It is about to open. But understand this clearly. This is not just any door. This is a door that could not open earlier, no matter how much you wanted it to. Not because you were unworthy, not because you were forgotten, but because the timing was not yet complete. There were pieces still being arranged behind the scenes. There were conditions that had to align perfectly. And most importantly, there were parts of you that had to be prepared to walk through it without fear, without doubt, and without hesitation. Now that moment has arrived. You may begin to notice subtle signs first. A shift in your thoughts. A sense of calm replacing the anxiety that once consumed you. Opportunities appearing where there were none before. Conversations that seem to lead somewhere meaningful instead of ending in confusion. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Signals that the door is no longer resisting your presence. It is responding to it. Archangel Michael stands at this threshold with you. Not to push you through, but to ensure that what lies on the other side is protected, secure, and aligned with what God has approved. He is not opening just any path for you. He is opening the right one. The one that carries purpose, clarity, and a future that does not collapse under pressure. And when this door opens, it will not look the way you expected. That is something you must prepare your heart for. Often, divine opportunities arrive in forms that do not immediately appear grand or obvious. They may seem small at first. They may require faith to recognize. But within them is the power to transform everything. This is where many people hesitate. They wait for something dramatic, something undeniable, something that requires no faith at all. But divine doors are different. They invite you to trust. They call you to step forward even when the full picture is not yet visible. And this is why this moment is so important, because your response will determine how fully you step into what has already been prepared. Think about how far you have come. Think about the strength you have built, the lessons you have learned, the resilience that has grown within you. All of that was not just for survival. It was for this step. This moment where you no longer stand outside, wondering if something will change, but instead stand at the entrance, ready to move forward. There is also something that must be released as this door opens. You cannot carry old doubts into a new season. You cannot bring past fears into a space that was designed for peace and expansion. This is why the process before this moment felt so heavy. It was preparing you to let go, to release what no longer belongs, to step forward lighter, clearer, and ready. And now, the urgency returns. Because this is not a door that will remain open indefinitely without your response. Divine timing invites action. It calls for awareness. It asks you to recognize the moment and to move with it. Not out of fear, but out of trust. Not out of pressure, but out of alignment. Archangel Michael is guiding you, but he will not force you. This step must come from your own willingness. Your own belief that what God has approved is not only real, but meant specifically for you. You are not stepping into someone else's path. You are stepping into your own. As this door begins to open, you may feel a mixture of emotions, excitement, uncertainty, even a quiet sense of disbelief. That is natural, because when something truly life-changing begins to unfold, it challenges everything you once thought was possible. But do not retreat. Do not second-guess what has already been confirmed. Stay present. Stay aware. Stay aligned. Because what lies beyond this door is not just a new opportunity. It is a new reality. And you are closer to it now than you have ever been before. There is a question rising deep within your spirit right now, even if you haven't spoken it out loud. Why me? Out of so many people, out of so many lives unfolding at the same time, why has this moment found you? Why has this approval, this divine shift, this open door been assigned to your path? The answer is not slujahikaki. It is not random, and it is not something that just happened overnight. You were chosen because of who you have become through everything you have endured. Not the version of you that once doubted, not the version that felt lost or uncertain, but the version that kept going even when nothing made sense. That version of you caught heaven's attention. You see, divine selection is not based on perfection. It is based on persistence. It is based on the ability to hold on when everything around you says to let go. It is based on the quiet strength that develops in moments no one else sees. And that is exactly what you have demonstrated. Every time you chose to rise again, every time you refused to let darkness define your story, you were stepping closer to this moment of approval. There were times when you felt overlooked, times when it seemed like others were moving ahead while you remained in the same place. You questioned your worth. You questioned your timing. You even questioned whether you were truly meant for something greater. But what you didn't realize is that your process was different because your purpose is different. Archangel Michael has witnessed this journey, not from a distance, but closely, attentively, with a protective presence that never left your side. He saw the moments when you almost gave up. He saw the silent battles you fought within yourself. And he also saw the strength that continued to rise within you even when you felt weak. That is why you were chosen. Because you were willing to be shaped, willing to grow, willing to be refined even when the process was uncomfortable. Many turn away when the pressure increases. Many retreat when things become unclear. But you stay. You endured. And that endurance has now positioned you to receive something that requires strength to carry. Understand this clearly. What is coming into your life is not small. It carries responsibility. It carries influence. It carries a level of impact that could not be placed in unprepared hands. This is why your journey looked the way it did. You were not being delayed. You were being developed. There were lessons you needed to learn, patterns you needed to break, and perspectives you needed to shift. And although it felt slow at times, although it felt like nothing was happening, everything was happening beneath the surface, you were becoming the person who could walk through that door without fear of losing what was on the other side. And now, here you are. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine design. This is also why this message found you. Because recognition is part of activation. When you understand that you were chosen, something changes within you. Doubt begins to lose its power. Fear begins to fade. And in its place, a quiet confidence begins to rise. A confidence not based on ego, but on alignment with what God has already declared. Archangel Michael is affirming this truth to you now. You are ready. Not in some distant future. Not after another long season of waiting. But now. In this moment. With everything you have already become. So release the question of why me and replace it with this is meant for me. Let that truth settle into your spirit. Let it reshape the way you see yourself. Because you are no longer standing on the outside, wondering if you belong. You belong in this moment. You belong in this approval. You belong in what is about to unfold. And as you accept that truth, something powerful begins to happen. You stop resisting what is coming, and you start receiving it fully. Because the one who was chosen is now the one who is ready. There is something very important you must understand in this moment. Even though heaven has already approved what is coming into your life, even though the battle has already been fought and the door is beginning to open, there is still a role that only you can fulfill. This is the moment where your response becomes the bridge between what has been declared and what will be experienced. The one thing you must do now is align. Alignment is not complicated, but it is powerful. It means bringing your thoughts, your emotions, and your expectations into agreement with what God has already approved. It means no longer speaking from fear when heaven has already spoken from certainty. It means no longer expecting delay when the decision has already been finalized. This is where many people unknowingly block their own breakthrough. Not because they are unworthy, but because they remain mentally and emotionally connected to the past. They continue to expect disappointment because that is what they have experienced before. They hesitate because they have been hurt before. They doubt because things did not work out in the past. But this moment is not connected to your past. It is connected to your approval. You cannot carry old expectations into a new reality. Archangel Michael is guiding you to release what no longer belongs in your mindset. A fear that says, what if it doesn't happen? The doubt that whispers, what if this is not real? The hesitation that tells you to wait just a little longer before believing. These thoughts are not aligned with what has already been declared. And if you hold on to them, they will create resistance where there should be flow. Instead, you are being called to step into a new way of thinking, a way that reflects trust instead of fear, confidence instead of doubt, readiness instead of hesitation. This does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to believe that something has already shifted, even if you have not fully seen it yet. Because alignment is an act of faith. It is saying, I trust what God has approved, even before it fully appears in my life. It is saying, I release the need to control every detail, and I step into what is being guided toward me. It is saying, I am ready, and readiness is key. Because what is coming may move quickly, faster than you expect, faster than you feel prepared for. And if you are still holding on to hesitation, you may find yourself stepping back instead of forward. That is why this moment matters so much. It is your opportunity to prepare internally for what is about to manifest externally. There is also an action that comes with alignment. It is not just about what you think. It is about how you respond when the opportunity appears. When the door begins to open, will you recognize it? Will you trust it? Will you step through it without overanalyzing every detail? Archangel Michael is not only protecting your path, he is positioning you for movement. He is encouraging you to stay aware, to stay present, and to trust the guidance you feel within. That quiet knowing, that inner pull, that is not random. That is direction. You must also let go of the need for everything to make perfect sense before you move. Divine moments often require trust before clarity. They ask you to take a step, and then reveal the next part. If you wait for complete certainty, you may miss the flow of what is already unfolding. This is your moment to shift from waiting to receiving. Let go of the old story that says things take too long. Let go of the belief that something will go wrong. Let go of the fear that you are not ready. None of those thoughts belong to this moment anymore. You are ready because you have been prepared. You can trust because the approval has already been given. You can move forward because the path is already being cleared. So align yourself now, in your thoughts, in your expectations, in your response. Because what happens next will not wait for hesitation. It will respond to readiness. And you are being called to be ready now. There is a moment in every divine journey when everything changes so quickly that it feels almost unreal. You are approaching that moment now. What once felt slow, delayed, and uncertain is about to accelerate in ways you did not expect. And when it happens, it will not ask for permission. It will simply unfold. This is the nature of divine approval. It may take time to prepare, time to align, time to position everything correctly, but once it is released, it moves with a speed that can catch you off guard. That is why you must be aware, because the same life that once felt stagnant can suddenly begin to move forward with clarity, direction, and opportunity all at once. You may wake up one day and realize something feels different. The heaviness you carried is no longer there. The confusion that once clouded your thoughts has been replaced with a sense of knowing. Situations that once felt complicated begin to resolve themselves without struggle. Doors that were once closed begin to open naturally, without resistance. This is the shift, and it will not look the way you imagined it during your waiting season. It will be smoother, simpler, more aligned. Because when something is truly meant for you, it does not require force. It flows. Archangel Michael is preparing you for this sudden change because he understands how overwhelming it can feel. When you have been used to waiting, used to uncertainty, used to things not working out, a sudden breakthrough can feel almost disorienting. You may find yourself questioning it, wondering if it is real, wondering if it will last. But this time is different. This time, the foundation has already been secured. What is coming into your life is not temporary. It is not fragile. It is not something that will disappear as quickly as it arrived. It is stable because it has been approved. It is lasting because it hath been prepared. You may also notice that certain things begin to fall into place without effort. Connections that feel right. Opportunities that align perfectly with your path. Moments that seem too precise to be coincidence. This is how divine movement works. It aligns details in a way that confirms you are exactly where you are meant to be. There will be no need to chase what is already assigned to you. And this is where your mindset continues to matter. Because when the shift happens, your ability to receive it fully depends on your willingness to trust it. If you hold on to doubt, you may hesitate. If you overanalyze, you may slow yourself down. But if you remain aligned, you will move with the flow of what is already unfolding. This is not the time to question your worth. This is not the time to revisit past disappointments. This is the time to stand in the truth that something has changed, and that change is working in your favor. Archangel Michael is still present, guiding each step, ensuring that nothing interferes with what has been released. His role now is to help you remain steady as everything begins to move. To remind you that even though the pace has shifted, you are not losing control. You are stepping into alignment. And yes, it may shock you. It may surprise you how quickly things begin to improve. How suddenly clarity replaces confusion. I will expect the peace replaces stress. But do not resist it. Do not question it away. Accept it. Because this is what you have been prepared for all along. The waiting season was never the final chapter. It was the preparation. And now, the manifestation is beginning. So stay ready. Stay open. Stay aligned. Because the shift you are about to experience will not only change your circumstances, it will change the way you see what is possible for your life. And once it begins, you will understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Something within you has already started to notice it. A quiet awareness. A subtle shift that you cannot fully explain, yet you cannot deny. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is the beginning of confirmation. Because when a divine moment draws near, signs begin to appear, not to confuse you, but to awaken you. These signs are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes they come as repeated thoughts that feel stronger than usual. Sometimes they appear as patterns, numbers, words, or messages that seem to follow you wherever you go. You may hear the same phrase from different places, see the same idea repeated in unexpected ways, or feel an inner nudge that refuses to fade. These are not random details. These are signals. Archangel Michael is using these signs to get your attention, to sharpen your awareness, and to make sure you do not overlook what is unfolding right in front of you. Because this moment is too important to miss. The window is still open, but it is narrowing. And the more aware you are, the more clearly you will recognize what is meant for you. You may also notice changes within yourself. A sense of calm where there used to be anxiety. A clarity of thought where there was once confusion. A quiet confidence rising within you, even if your external situation is not fully caught up yet. This inner transformation is one of the strongest signs of all. It means alignment is taking place. Pay attention to what draws your focus now. What feels different? What feels right in a way you cannot explain? That inner pull is not accidental. It is direction. It is guidance leading you toward what has already been approved. And the more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. There is also something else you must not ignore: the sudden removal of what no longer fits. You may find yourself losing interest in things that once held your attention. You may feel disconnected from certain environments or even certain people. This is not loss. It is adjustment. It is your life making space for something new. Archangel Michael is actively clearing your path, and sometimes that clearing feels uncomfortable. But it is necessary. Because what is coming cannot fully enter your life if there is no room for it. Every shift you feel, every release you experience, is part of preparing you to receive. And now, the urgency becomes even more real. Because signs are not meant to be observed passively, they are meant to be acted upon. When you recognize them, you are being invited to respond, to trust, to move, to align even more deeply with what is already in motion. Do not wait for everything to be explained. Do not wait for every detail to be clear. This is a moment that requires faith in motion. The more you delay, the more you risk stepping out of alignment with the flow that has already begun. Archangel Michael is not just sending signs. He is calling you forward through them. Each one is a step, a marker, a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. But it is your awareness that turns those signs into action. So stay alert. Stay present. Stay connected to what you feel within. Because this is not just about recognizing the sign, it is about responding to it. Type I see the signs in the comments if you feel this confirmation in your spirit. Blessing code 842 has now been released, activating clarity, awareness, and divine direction over your life. And as these signs begin to guide you more clearly, understand this: when you respond, you are not just receiving for yourself, you are becoming part of something greater. There are others who are still searching for these signs, still waiting for a moment of clarity like this. I feel led to be a vessel so that others can recognize their signs too. Let the truth rise within you, because your action today can become someone else's awakening tomorrow. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and right now, your seed can become a harvest of revelation for countless souls. Every offering you release becomes light that travels farther than you can see. Every act of support becomes a voice that reaches someone in their darkest moment. The PayPal link has been placed in the description for your step of faith, and the QR code is right there, waiting for you to act without delay. This is not just a contribution, it is participation in a divine mission. As you give, may clarity increase in your own life. As you sow, may your path become brighter. Step into this moment now and release what your spirit is calling you to give. There is a truth that many people struggle to accept, but you are ready to hear it now. Not everything that has been part of your life is meant to continue into what God has approved for you. As this new season begins to unfold, there will be a clearing, a necessary, intentional removal of anything that no longer aligns with where you are being taken. This is not punishment. This is protection. You may already feel it beginning. Certain connection may feel distant. Conversations that once flowed easily may now feel forced or empty. Environments that once felt familiar may now feel uncomfortable or restrictive. This is not because something is wrong with you. It is because something is changing within you. Archangel Michael is actively working in this process, and his role here is precise. He is not just guarding what is coming into your life. He is also cutting away what cannot go with you. This may feel intense at times. It may even feel confusing. But every removal has a purpose, and every separation is making space for something better aligned with your future. There are people who were part of your past season who cannot step into your next one. Not because they are bad, but because their presence no longer supports your growth. Holding on to them out of comfort or fear will only slow down what is trying to move forward in your life. And this is why the separation must happen. You may also notice the removal of patterns. Habits that once felt natural may begin to lose their hold on you. Ways of thinking that once seemed normal may now feel limiting. This is a deeper level of transformation, one that begins within you before it fully reflects in your external world. Archangel Michael is not only removing people and situations, he is removing mindsets that could interfere with your alignment. Because what is coming into your life requires a different level of awareness, a different level of belief, and a different level of clarity. This process may not always feel comfortable. There may be moments where you question why something is being taken away, especially if it once felt important to you. But trust this: if it is being removed now, it is because it cannot support what is about to be built. There is also a sense of urgency in this removal, because what has been approved is ready to enter your life, and there must be space for it to fully arrive. If you continue to hold on to what no longer belongs, you create resistance. You create a delay that does not need to exist. This is why you are being guided to release willingly, not reluctantly. Let go of what feels heavy. Let go of what feels forced. Let go of what no longer brings clarity or peace. These are not losses. They are signs that you are moving forward. They are confirmations that your life is being realigned with something greater. Archangel Michael is ensuring that this process is not chaotic, but purposeful. Every removal is calculated. Every shift is guided. You are not being left empty, you are being made ready. And once this clearing is complete, you will begin to notice something remarkable. The space that once felt uncertain will begin to feel peaceful. The silence that once felt uncomfortable will begin to feel calm. And in that space, new things will begin to enter. Things that align, things that support, things that reflect the approval that has already been given. This is how transformation works. It removes before it replaces. It clears before it builds. It repairs before it reveals. So do not resist what is leaving your life right now. Do not try to hold on to what is naturally falling away. Trust the process. Trust the guidance. Trust the timing. Because what is being removed is not part of your future. And what is coming next will require all the space that is now being created for you. What is unfolding now is not just a change in circumstances. It is the formation of an entirely new reality around you. This is the part of the journey where what was once invisible begins to take shape in ways you can finally recognize. What God has approved is no longer distant. It is drawing closer, forming structure, creating a space where you can live, move, and grow in alignment with your true purpose. This new reality will not feel like your past. That is the first thing you must understand. It will not carry the same confusion, the same heaviness, or the same constant struggle that once surrounded you. Instead, it will feel clear, grounded, directed. There will be a sense of order where there was once chaos, a sense of peace where there was once tension. Archangel Michael is still present in this transition, but now his role becomes even more refined. He is not just guiding you forward. He is ensuring that what is being established around you remains protected. Because what is coming into your life is not temporary. It is something that is meant to last, something that is meant to support you, not drain you. In this new reality, you will begin to notice a shift in how things come together. Opportunities will feel aligned rather than forced. Decisions will feel clearer rather than confusing. You will not have to chase what belongs to you, it will meet you where you are. This is one of the clearest signs that you are stepping into something divinely prepared. There is also a transformation happening within your identity. You are not the same person who once struggled to understand where you were going. You are becoming someone who recognizes direction, who trusts guidance, who moves with intention. This shift in identity is just as important as the changes happening around you, because your external world reflects your internal state. As your thoughts become clearer, your reality follows. As your confidence grows, your opportunities expand. As your alignment strengthens, your path becomes more defined. This is not coincidence. It is the natural result of everything you have been through leading to this moment. You may also find that your priorities begin to change. Things that once seemed important may no longer hold the same value. And things that truly matter, peace, purpose, clarity, will begin to take center stage. This is a sign that you are no longer operating from survival, but from alignment. Archangel Michael is helping you stabilize in this new space. Because even though it is better, even though it is more aligned, it is still new. And anything new requires adjustment. There may be moments where you feel unsure simply because you are not used to things flowing this way. But do not mistake unfamiliar peace for uncertainty. This is your new normal. There is also a deeper sense of purpose that will begin to emerge. You will not just experience change, you will understand why it happened. You will begin to see how every part of your journey connects, how every challenge shaped you, how every delay positioned you for something greater. And with that understanding comes clarity. Clarity about who you are. Clarity about where you are going. Clarity about what truly matters. This clarity becomes your foundation, something you can stand on without fear of it collapsing beneath you. But even as this new reality forms, you must remain aware, because this is still a moment of transition. You are moving from one season into another, and that movement requires your continued alignment. Stay connected to what feels right. Stay grounded in what you know has already been approved. Do not look back with regret. Do not question what has already been confirmed. Keep your focus on what is forming ahead of you, because what is being prepared is not just an improvement, it is a transformation. A life that reflects peace instead of pressure. A path that brings clarity instead of confusion. A reality that supports you instead of draining you. This is what has been approved. And as it continues to take shape, you will begin to realize something powerful. This is not just a new chapter. This is a completely new beginning. You can feel it now more than ever before. Something is closing, and something is opening at the same time. This is not just another moment in your life. This is the threshold. The final countdown has begun, and every second carries weight, meaning, and movement. The phrase "only 1 hour left" was never just about time as you measure it. It is a spiritual signal. It represents the final stage of transition, the last phase before what has been approved fully manifests into your reality. It is the moment where preparation meets release, where everything that has been building behind the scenes begins to move forward without restriction. This is why everything feels heightened. Your awareness is sharper. Your emotions may feel stronger. Your intuition is more active than ever. You are not imagining this. You are responding to the shift that is happening around you and within you at the same time. Archangel Michael is standing closer now, not because you are in danger, but because you are in transition. This is a sacred crossing point, and his presence ensures that nothing interrupts what has already been set into motion. He is guiding you through these final moments with precision, keeping you aligned, focused, and protected. But this is also the moment where your attention matters most. Distractions may try to pull you away. Old thoughts may try to return. Doubts may attempt one final time to create hesitation within you. This is not random. It is the last echo of what is already losing its power over you. And you must recognize it for what it is, not truth, but residue. Do not give your energy to what is fading. Instead, bring your focus fully into this moment. Stay present. Stay aware. Stay connected to the inner knowing that has been guiding you this entire time. Because what happens in this final phase is not about effort. It is about receptivity. You are not trying to make something happen anymore. You are allowing what has already been approved to arrive. There is a difference. Effort comes from striving. Receptivity comes from alignment. And right now, alignment is your greatest strength. The more you remain in that space of trust, the more naturally everything will begin to unfold. You may also notice that clarity becomes even stronger now. Things that once felt uncertain will begin to make sense. Decisions that once felt difficult will feel obvious. This is because you are stepping into a level of understanding that only comes at the end of a transition. You are seeing clearly because you are ready to move forward. Archangel Michael is urging you to hold your position, not physically but spiritually. Do not retreat into old patterns. Do not revisit old fears. Do not question what has already been confirmed. This is not the time to go backward. This is the time to remain steady as everything shifts into place. And yes, it may feel intense, because this is the moment where everything converges. The past releases its hold, the present becomes clear, and the future begins to take form. All at once, all in alignment, all in accordance with what has already been approved. This is why the countdown matters. Not because something will disappear, but because something is about to fully appear. The window is reaching its peak. The alignment is reaching its completion. And what comes next will not require waiting. It will require receiving. So take a breath and recognize where you are. You are not in the middle anymore. You are not in the beginning. You are at the edge of manifestation. Everything you have gone through has led to this exact moment. Every delay, every lesson, every shift. It was all bringing you here. And now, there is nothing left to prepare, only to receive. Beloved soul, this is the moment everything has been leading to. The waiting is over. The preparation is complete. The resistance has been broken. And now, what was once held in the unseen is being released into your life. Feel the stillness in this moment, not emptiness, but peace. Not silence, but completion. This is what it feels like when something divine settles into place. What God has approved for you is no longer approaching. It has arrived in spirit. and it is now unfolding in your reality. Archangel Michael stands beside you, not as a warrior now, but as a guardian of what has been delivered. His presence is calm, steady, and reassuring. There is no more urgency in his voice, only confirmation. You made it through the uncertainty. You held on through the unseen battles. And now, you are standing in the beginning of what was promised. Let yourself receive this without resistance. Do not question it. Do not shrink back from it. Do not tell yourself you need more time to be ready. You are ready because heaven declared it so. You are worthy because it was approved for you. You are aligned because you chose to stay, to listen, to believe. This new season will not feel like the old one. It will feel lighter, clear, more grounded. You will begin to notice peace where there was once pressure, direction where there was once confusion, and stability where there was once uncertainty. This is the evidence of what has been released. And even if everything has not fully appeared yet, trust that it is already in motion. Just as the battle was real even when you could not see it, the blessing is real even as it continues to unfold. Stay in that trust. Stay in that peace. There is nothing left for you to chase. What belongs to you is now finding you. Archangel Michael will continue to walk with you, not to fight for you anymore, but to guide you as you grow into this new reality. His protection remains. His presence remains. And the path ahead is now clear. So take a deep breath and allow gratitude to fill your heart. Not forced gratitude, but genuine recognition of what has shifted. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You are stronger, clear, ready, and most importantly, you are stepping into something that will change everything. Type "I receive my blessing" in the comments if you accept what has been released over your life. Blessing code 999 has now been activated, sealing peace, protection, and fulfillment into your path. And as this blessing settles into your life, hear this clearly: this moment was never meant to stop with you. There are others still waiting, still searching, still standing at the edge of their own breakthrough. And right now, you are being invited to become part of how God reaches them. I am moved to sow into this moment so that light can reach another soul. Let that declaration rise within you, because this is not just giving, it is releasing seed into holy ground. The Lord is saying to you, as you pour, I will cause rivers to flow back into your life, overflowing beyond what you can contain. This is a living promise, active in this very moment. Every seed you release becomes a spark of light in someone else's darkness. Every offering becomes a voice that carries truth, healing, and awakening across the world. The PayPal link in the description has been placed there for this divine exchange, and the QR code is your doorway to act right now. Do not delay what your spirit is calling you to do. As you give, may your own blessings multiply. As you sow, may your path overflow with favor. Step forward now and release your seed with faith.